I just got an alert for a state of emergency. So today is February 22nd, and this is the first blizzard in New York in a decade. And we're shooting with the Tamron 25-200 on the Sony a7C II. And you can't forget the plastic bag protection. Let's see what kind of shots we can get tonight. Starting off the photo walk, I'm in Queens in New York, and there's already a good amount of snow on the ground. And it was sticking to pretty much every surface. There was some wind, but honestly, it wasn't too bad. As I was walking down this street, I liked the way the subway station looked, and the timing was perfect because someone was walking towards me with a bike. The camera had no issues focusing, and I actually liked the vertical crop here, so the image is more centered around the person. A few blocks down, this Citibank caught my eye, and I liked how the light was shining from under the awning. There was definitely potential here, but I just needed some people in the frame, so I waited around for a bit. Eventually, this group of 4 guys walked by me, and I really liked this shot. And actually, I also really liked this vertical crop when they were walking under the awning because the light was shining directly from above. Then I continued a bit down the street and decided to kneel down for a lower angle. Unfortunately, the image didn't quite turn out the way that I had imagined, but that's okay because not every shot is going to be a keeper, especially in this weather when it's really hard to see your framing and your focus. In the same spot, I also noticed this person getting food, but I really like being able to capture that brief moment of human interaction in the middle of this blizzard. At the next block, the triangle architecture of this bank was really unique. I got lucky with the timing because this car was waiting at the light and this woman was crossing the street with an umbrella. I kept taking some pics in the same spot and ended up with this shot where we have the delivery biker also in the background. I actually like the composition in this one better compared to the previous image with the car. From here, I ended up crossing the street and I noticed this truck with the yellow lights and a snorkel. So I waited for it to start moving and I captured this shot. It looked pretty cool, and honestly, this seemed like the right type of car to be driving around in a blizzard. And if you guys are liking this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It's completely free and it really supports my channel and motivates me to go out and create more content like this. Walking back out towards the main street, this flower shop caught my eye because the snow pattern on the glass looked almost like white flowers. So this frame ended up looking more abstract and artistic, with pops of color peeking out from behind the snow. And every time I cross the street, I always think that these yellow walk signs are quintessential to New York, so before I forgot, I just took a quick shot of this one as it was starting to get covered by snow. This photo actually ended up looking kind of cool because the snow on my lens created these bokeh balls throughout the frame. Again, as I was looking across at the Triangle building, I noticed someone crossing the street pushing a stroller. So I zoomed in all the way and I was really surprised that the camera was able to capture this shot in focus. Then I quickly turned to take some pics of this snowplow, but it ended up being a red light, so I wasn't able to get a panning shot like I had wanted. But anyway, back to the person pushing the stroller, you can see just how quickly this lens was able to lock focus and track them across all of these shots. I'm seriously impressed with this new Tamron 25-200 and the Sony a7C II combo. If you want to learn more about this lens, I have a full review on my channel where I took this lens to Japan for some travel photography. So after walking down a few blocks, there was this church with the lights on shining through the stained glass window. There was something nice about the warmth of the light, but at the same time, it still looks kind of sinister with all of this snow blowing around. At this point, I heard another snowplow come through and I really wanted to capture a panning shot. So this one was the best of the bunch. It's still not super great, but definitely better than the first one that I had tried before. At this intersection, there was a few buses going through and people were waiting, so I thought this was a nice spot to try to capture some unique moments. I saw people crossing the street and I wanted to get a shot where they were silhouetted by the headlights. However, the image didn't come out perfectly, but you can really see how heavy the snow was starting to come down. And this was just another slice of life shot as people were waiting for the bus to arrive. Nothing too special, but just great for documenting the blizzard. Then I noticed the MTA driver walking onto the bus, and just huge shout out to these bus drivers because it must be really hard to drive around in that kind of weather. But I like the tight framing of this shot, and the glow from the lights add that additional interest to the image. Here my camera's on the left side, just out of the frame, because I'm trying to set it up to capture some more panning shots. I lowered my shutter speed and tried tracking the plow as it went past. This was a really cool shot with a lot of movement and blurry lights. I kept trying to capture a few more, and I like the way this orange one looked even though it's not super clear. The contrast from the orange and the darkness around it was really nice. At this point, the roads were clearing out because the mayor had issued a travel ban due to the state of emergency, so there really wasn't a lot going on. I took a few photos of these delivery drivers as they were going by, and I hope they were headed home because I heard the fine could be $1,000. Also, my POV camera wasn't recording, but I also captured this image of these two people, and I really like the story that this image conveys. Yo, I've been out here for about an hour now, and I'm just getting covered in snow, and it's freezing. I think I'm gonna head back soon and call it a night. So I started heading back towards the subway. This little smart car looked like it could get blown over with a strong gust of wind. But I spotted this McDonald's across the street, and I thought it would be cool to capture some shots here. But as I got closer, I realized that it was closed. However, I did like this photo of the snow piling up on the drive-through signs. And finally, for the last shot of the night, I took this frame with the McDonald's sign in the foreground on the right and the storefront in the back. This is probably one of my favorite shots because there's just something nostalgic about this image that I love so much.